You thought it was just an app, a quick dopamine hit, dance videos, mindless scrolling, entertainment. But what if everything you know is a lie? What if every second you spend on that screen is a battle you don't realize you're fighting? Picture this, a family dinner in suburban America, phones face down on the table, a promise of connection. Then, ping, 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 synchronized notifications. 5 heads bow simultaneously to their screens. 5 minds captured, 5 battlefields conquered. While you laughed, scrolled, and double-tapped, someone was watching, learning, profiling, engineering your reality. TikTok didn't just invade your phone, it bypassed your psychological defenses. Not with malware, with dopamine. This isn't a trend, it's a weapon. And the war? It's already inside your home. Why did India shut it down overnight? Why do intelligence chiefs call it a digital bioweapon? Why are backdoors appearing in networks across the globe? Because you're not just the user, you're the battlefield. But to understand this invisible war, you need to know the playbook they never wanted you to see. Hold that thought. First, I need to show you something even more disturbing, something that explains why you keep coming back, even when you know you shouldn't. In 1999, 2 Chinese military strategists revealed their vision. Unrestricted warfare. No bombs, no bullets, just psychology, media, technology, control. They wrote, "The next great conflict won't be fought on battlefields, it'll be fought through influence." And China didn't just read that blueprint, they built an empire on it. TikTok, Huawei, these aren't companies, they're infrastructure, they're weapons. The West built the internet. China learned how to weaponize it against us. TikTok isn't just addictive, it's adaptive. Unlike Facebook or Instagram, it doesn't just track your likes, it tracks your hesitations, your impulses. The split second your eyes linger on something forbidden. Scroll past a Tiananmen Square video? Noted. Pause on anti-government content? Flagged. Watch something challenging Chinese interests? Buried. Engage with divisive content? Amplified. Fall into a rabbit hole of conspiracy? Deepened. Every swipe trains the machine. And that machine is built by ByteDance, a company legally bound to China's intelligence apparatus. If Beijing wants your data, ByteDance must surrender it. No questions, no courts, no exceptions. Whistleblowers confirmed what we suspected. Everything was visible in China. Even TikTok's much-touted US data firewall, Project Texas, can't change where the algorithm itself was born. And that algorithm was engineered for something far more powerful than entertainment: behavioral manipulation at planetary scale. But here's where it gets fascinating. In China, children see science, achievement, innovation. They use Douyin, TikTok's twin, time limits, educational content, national pride. Meanwhile, in America, our teens consume chaos, controversy, division, same technology. 2 missions: build citizens in one place, create addicts in another. You might be wondering, why would they do this? What's the end game? We'll get to that. But first, you need to understand the science of digital addiction they've perfected. Every scroll delivers unpredictable rewards, sometimes boring, sometimes captivating. This creates what psychologists call intermittent reinforcement, the same mechanism that makes gambling addictive. It's not random, it's engineered. It's weaponized neuroscience. You think TikTok needs to push propaganda? It doesn't. It simply creates the fog where critical thinking drowns and emotional reactivity thrives. What rises to the top isn't truth, it's volume. And when everything is noise, you can't hear the warning sirens. But this war runs deeper than apps. If TikTok captures your attention, Huawei captures the signal itself. Routers, cell towers, fiber optic cables. By 2020, Huawei hardware was embedded in 170 countries. Then came the revelation that shattered illusions. At the African Union headquarters, built and wired by Chinese companies, engineers discovered years of sensitive data silently flowing to servers in Shanghai. Diplomatic communications, strategic plans, negotiation positions, exfiltrated every night for 5 years. Huawei called it a technical error. The evidence called it something else, a deliberate backdoor. Picture a diplomat typing sensitive trade negotiations at midnight in Addis Ababa. She thinks she's alone. She isn't. Her keystrokes flow to Beijing in real time. The next day, her counterpart somehow knows her bottom line before she speaks it. This isn't hypothetical. This is documented reality. Why does Huawei keep winning contracts across the developing world? Because China doesn't sell ideology. It sells infrastructure, fast, affordable, no political conditions. At first, Western nations sell dreams. China sells connectivity, complete 5G networks, favorable financing, no lectures about democracy. In return, access to systems, to secrets, to silence when required. Five Eyes intelligence nations saw the threat. They banned Huawei, but for many countries, it was already too late. Because once your digital backbone is built by Beijing, it's no longer truly yours. This isn't just about phones or apps. It's about a fundamental realignment of global power. The US once dominated the internet. Now China is coding its next evolution. From TikTok to Tencent, Huawei to Hikvision, the Chinese Communist Party's digital empire spans continents, operates in silence, and scales with terrifying efficiency. The digital Silk Road is rewiring Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia, with fiber optics, data centers, and binding contracts. It's not just commerce, it's surveillance diplomacy. Every network built becomes a lever of control. Every partnership signed creates a node of influence. Every protocol implemented becomes a tool of leverage. Every data point collected becomes ammunition in a new kind of war. This isn't a cold war, it's colder because it feels warm, convenient, free, until suddenly it's not. Governments are finally awakening. India banned TikTok outright. Washington restricted it on federal devices. Europe implemented digital sovereignty laws. But the billions of users still scrolling, still vulnerable. TikTok isn't just an app anymore. It's identity, income, escape. Ban it, and you trigger mass resistance. Try to regulate it, and you discover how little control you actually have. Because China didn't just build a platform, it built a mirror that reflects our deepest desires, one we can't look away from. Modern propaganda doesn't shout. It whispers, it entertains, it knows exactly what you want before you do. TikTok's true genius isn't what it shows you. It's what it makes disappear. During Hong Kong's freedom protests, footage vanished from Western feeds. Pro-China narratives, subtly amplified. It's not crude censorship, it's algorithmic manipulation. You'll never detect the viewpoints you weren't shown in the first place. Same platform, different outcomes. In China, national unity. In America, paralysis through division. But wait, there's something even more chilling about this strategy that I haven't told you yet. Something that explains why this isn't just about data or influence, but about reshaping the future itself. This is the great digital fracture, the birth of competing technological empires. One side open, messy, democratic, but vulnerable to exploitation. The other, closed, controlled, efficient, but under constant surveillance. And caught between these superpowers, the rest of humanity, choosing apps, choosing infrastructure, choosing futures, schools, courts, hospitals, mines. The battlefront is everywhere you look, yet nowhere you can see. But you were told it was just another app, just another phone company. There was no invasion, no declaration, no troops crossing borders, just a tap. Download now. And you did. So did your children. So did 3 billion others. This is warfare in the 21st century. Influence over invasion, perception over presence. No one needed to breach your defenses. You welcomed them in with a smile. The most sophisticated surveillance apparatus in human history didn't wear a uniform. It wore a trendy interface, and it danced. Your identity is being shaped. Your opinions are being molded. Your attention is being weaponized against you. And the most terrifying part? You're paying for the privilege with your time, your data, and your mind. Subscribe. Because this invisible war isn't just about who controls technology, it's about who controls reality itself. And if you can't see the battlefield beneath your fingertips, you've already surrendered your most precious territory, your freedom to think for yourself. The truth doesn't just set you free. In this war, the truth is the only weapon that matters.